All right, my friends, welcome to episode 361 of Prof and Dev Play Games. That guy over there is the dev. He's Anthony, and I am the Professor Larry. And this week, we're talking about the Game Awards because holy shit, the year is almost done. What the fuck?
I don't know. It's come and
Time.
gone. I don't know. Like 2022 is almost done. And we're into 2023. Who knows if that brings something better? I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. I'm gonna be optimistic and say maybe instead of no. My car just turned on behind me because I record in the garage. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's coming up? Is my wife getting in the garage? And I realized I just tapped my pocket and hit one of the buttons.
Oh,
And
that does it.
I'm glad I didn't hit the panic button because that would have been loud. Yes, here's to a better 2023, but we still have another month and a week or so of games to play, and we're gonna was it 18 days until the Game Awards when they're gonna have some good reveals. I'm gonna put money on Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah, I would think so. Like, because historically, Elden Ring has shown up there, right? Pretty sure.
Elden Ring showed up there, yes.
Yeah, I feel like they have good relationship, FromSoft and Keeley. So, yeah, I think it's time for some DLC. I mean, that's a great segue though into is it going to win Game of the Year?
Yeah, exactly. So we got we're gonna start with the banger. We're gonna start on top and go down. Game of the Year. For once, I've have experience with 5 of the 6 games. So we've got A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I think it's only between 2 of these games.
I do too. Elden Ring and God of War.
Yep.
Those are the 2. No offense to the rest of the games. I know that a lot of people were excited to see Xenoblade Chronicles 3 there.
Yeah, I am.
And Horizon Forbidden West was like a great improvement over for Zero Dawn. Stray, I love Stray, but this is not the category for it in my view. But I haven't played Plague Tale, but interesting to see it up here.
Yeah. I haven't played Plague Tale, played a bunch of Elden Ring. I've watched a fair amount of God of War Ragnarok, be it Forbidden West. Haven't touched Stray, heard good things, and played a ton of Xenoblade Chronicles. I would disagree with your assessment. It's nice to have these other games on there, but it's really just Elden Ring and God of War.
Yeah, really. And it's just like I said last week. It depends on what kind of game you like. Like there's some tweet this week from somebody, or maybe it's Curry Barlog when this was. I think Elden Ring later is up for best narrative, and people were like, "What fucking narrative?" But he's like, every game has a narrative. Like even if it's not spelled out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that when we get there. I'm sure.
But if you like story forward games or if you like exploration games, I don't know. Like God of War Ragnarok's a bit more corridor, a little bit more linear, I should say.
Yeah.
So it depends on what kind of gaming experience you like. I've both I found totally enjoyable, and I honestly couldn't pick. I think they're both great.
I will pick Elden Ring overall.
Yeah.
Not because I haven't played Ragnarok. I've watched Ragnarok, and I think Ragnarok is the pinnacle of the type of game it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Elden Ring is more innovative to me.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at in the difference is like I totally agree with you. Elden Ring iterates is a kind of a reinvention of that genre in a really amazing way. But God of War Ragnarok is the pinnacle of that kind of game. So it depends on what you like, I guess, because they both stand out as just stellar. But I think it's Elden Ring. I would vote for Elden Ring.
I would vote. I'm doing my votes as we go along. So I have vote placed for myself for Elden Ring.
What's next on the
best game direction?
This one's got 5 games on there. We've got Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray.
Outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
This was a hard one for me.
Yeah, I think any of the categories that have Elden Ring and God of War in are going to be hard, for sure. If you're talking about innovation, I don't know. You played Immortality.
I'm leaning towards Immortality.
Is it innovative?
Yeah.
In comparison to the other games?
The Sam Barlow games?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, because it's 3 different movies that you're jumping between scenes, and then there's I don't want to say what the thing is, but there's a mechanic that is a 4th thing that you have to get to. It's like it's an intuitive way to stumble upon it, but once you stumble upon it, then you can start doing it when you're watching the movies and piecing
Okay.
things together. I think it really is. My problem is that I know it's a video game, but it doesn't really strike me as a video game, and that's what
Yeah.
always holds it apart for me. Um, Kind of like since later the performance category where Manon Gage, I think is her name, is up for performance, and it's so interesting to think about her as herself, not as a voice for a video game character, where she's playing
Sure.
herself. So it kind of the same argument that I'm going to have later with that one is this one, where it's a game, and I know it's a game, but it's not a game. So then I think out best game direction, like I think it's the best direction. I think
Sure.
it's innovative, but I again would probably lean toward Elden Ring here.
Yeah, I think it's Elden Ring, but I would also, depending on which side you're strongest, I could see creative vision, if that's the stronger side, would be like Ragnarok.
Hmm.
Because watching Ragnarok, yeah, like they had a very strong creative vision for that game.
Yeah.
Knew exactly what they were making. Um, but yeah, I for me, I value more the innovation and design and direction, so probably Elden Ring. Like Immortality, like you said, looks neat. I just don't think in a category with Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok, any of the other candidates really matter. I'll be honest. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's
Mhm.
unfortunate, but I mean that happens every year though. There are games that just stand out above other very good games.
Yeah, because the way that these 5 games sift above all the other games in this category, but then when you look at these 5, there are some that just are way above,
Yeah.
and it sucks that you're in a category. Anyone who's in the category of Elden Ring this year,
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless we get shocked and God of War surprises us, I just feel like Elden Ring is going
Yeah.
to sweep.
Next we do have Best Narrative. And we have A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality. I think this goes to God of War.
I think so too.
To two.
That's
I,
right.
I think, and I would agree with Corey on that all games have narrative, and I think Elden Ring does have actually a fair amount of narrative going on. It's just presented in not a traditional narrative sense.
It's not really text based. It's more
No, it's
environmental and character design and
contextual. There's a lot of
yeah,
context. So
contextual.
it's
Exactly.
very experiential narrative that for
Hmm.
to piece together. It's not like we are telling you a story most of the times,
Right.
which is cool and which is something that is unique to video games in a lot of ways. That interactive
That's right.
storytelling, like that. But I also think like God of War is a more traditional form of storytelling, but is elevated by the being interactive as well.
And I think it stands out in this category because it came after Elden Ring. Because at least for a player like me, having played a ton of Elden Ring, I missed the narrative. Like I love that game, but
Yeah,
that storytelling component is missing for me, and I got it in spades in God of War Ragnarok, and that just makes it stand out even more here. Although for me, because Elden Ring doesn't stand out for me in terms of narrative, it was between God of War and Horizon Forbidden West for me in
I
this
see.
category.
I could see that.
I thought Forbidden West, especially some of the side content with the new characters or the people in your posse
Yeah,
basically, I thought stood out.
it did. From what I've watched, probably about half of God of War Ragnarok, I would still say its storytelling is just stronger overall.
Oh yeah, it is. It absolutely is stronger than Horizon Forbidden West. I mean,
Um,
it starts off like with this really great intimation of a side story with one of the kind of side characters from the first game that are taking more of a role in
yeah.
the new game, or you've seen it,
Hmm.
Sindri.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh fuck, like we're digging. If we're like starting off with like here's a big meaty chunk of something and it's Sindri, like shit, this is gonna be a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with God of War on this one.
Next, we have Best Art Direction, which Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray.
I admit that I haven't seen much of Scorn. I know it's
Scorn
a
is
horror
like
game.
a H.R. Giger art style. It's
Okay.
really freaking creepy. Like
Mm,
I've heard heard and people have talked highly about the game, as in it's just kind of a crappy game.
Yeah.
But not about its art direction. Its art direction is very on point. It's very disgusting.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not meant to be pleasant. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
art direction isn't necessarily meant to be pleasant.
Right.
But I don't think it's Elden Ring for me.
I don't think so either. Again,
like
this
God
one's
of
between
War is
God of
probably
War and
gonna.
Horizon.
Yeah, but I kind of feel
For
like
me.
God of War might win this.
I mean, it's fucking gorgeous. It is.
It is. It
Technical
is
achievement.
gorgeous.
That
Yeah.
game, I think, wins it. I don't think
Artistic.
Elden Ring has technical achievement and artistic design like God of War has.
Yeah, and I will say I enjoy there's a bit of subversion with their stylings of the Norse gods,
Mm-hmm.
especially like whenever they have finally. I don't know, just like
I thought
Thor
Odin
is not. Odin is way different than I would expected.
me too.
Like, which is fine, but is Odin still very much Odin?
Yes.
Like, but not the Odin that modern day has come to know. Like, very influenced, of course, by Marvel. But even before that, like, it's just Odin, big, ultimate, powerful, stands above the rest. And it's like, no, the way Odin is in God of War is elderly, calm, but still commands much power. Like,
Right.
it's interesting. It's a very interesting concept.
Did you hear how Richard Schiff got that job?
No.
I don't know exactly how it got offered to him, but when it got offered to him, or the audition or whatever, he was talking to his son, and his son was like, or he was talking to his son. He's like, I don't know exactly what this is, and he's like, you just say yes. You just say yes to this, because his son knew what it was. And that I didn't track any of the trailers or whatever, because I didn't really want to be spoiled. So I didn't know he was in it until he showed up, and I was like, "Is Toby from the West Wing and fucking God of War Ragnarok? What the fuck?"
And it worked.
It works. It does. It's it sounds like Toby, but it took me about 5 minutes to stop thinking about him throwing a ping pong or a tennis ball against the wall, or maybe it was a racquetball. Anyway.
Wow, this is his only video game credit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. He didn't know what the fuck this was. And his son was like, "You fucking take this. You take it."
Crazy to like, yeah, for him to just be like, okay, let's do this. Because I'm looking at it's like facial motion and voice acting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Odin looks
Capture.
like him.
Yeah, and it's just like, you're right. It's just, that's quite the jump. Being like, all right, let's do this. I don't have an experience doing this. They're offering it to me. My son's saying, you better take it.
Yeah. Especially that late in your career, like
Yeah.
to do something this radically different. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next one is best score in music for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Whew, there's some good stuff in here.
Yeah. We got A Plague Tale again. Maybe I should play that game at some point.
I'm thinking that now because it's on Game Pass, so I can just jump into it. But it's been in a number of categories at this point.
Yeah. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Metal Hellsinger, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I know where my mind goes because I will listen. Xenoblade.
Yeah,
because I've listened to Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, I'm just like, this is a soundtrack I listen to.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that's where I would go as well, just because I think you shared one battle music.
Yeah,
thing.
the battle music goes so
amazing.
fucking hard.
So I listened to a couple others. I think Elden Ring does a really good job of how the music plays throughout the game, but it's not something that I would like put on. And God of Bear McCreary is great, but I think like the sleeper one could be Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah, totally, it could be. It's not my type of game.
Me neither.
Really,
so I haven't played it,
but I have heard some of the music in different stream people playing it, and generally like it is the sleeper one.
So we'll see. If Hellsinger's sleeper and you think Xenoblade, you would choose Xenoblade. Do you also think Xenoblade wins this one?
No, because I don't put a lot of faith in voting for JRPG soundtracks.
Bear McCreary, I think, holds a lot of weight.
I think that does. I think God of War probably wins this, but I also want to see Mitsuda win an award.
Yeah,
because his career is long and great.
I'm gonna choose Xenoblade. I'm gonna say Xenoblade wins this one.
I mean, don't you want to give the composer of Chrono Trigger an award?
I
like,
do. I do.
like, yeah, his. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a great soundtrack, and this dude is just composed bangers through his entire career. Like music, like Chrono Trigger is crazy because it's just like, man, people still talk about those songs to this day of like
Yeah, dude, because they're
people's
great.
favorite things ever. And I
I can
know
hear
that
the battle music
it's
in my head right now.
yeah, and I know that Chrono Trigger is not up for an award right now, but still, there's something to take into account of being like, well, this guy's really good. Like the same way Bear McCreary has a very long track record of great music.
Yep.
So I don't know, but to me, it's probably God of War Ragnarok, but it could be Xenoblade. It could come in.
I wonder if I don't know if you feel like this is true, where people are like, this one's not going to win Game of the Year, it's not going to win whatever else, but this is where we could vote for that game and let it win something.
Sure, that's possible. That is possible.
And if that's true, I think this is the place, because goddamn, even that one song you sent, fuck, really good, really really
Yeah.
good. But I mean, I just God, the fucking battle music from Chrono Trigger is in my head right now, and I haven't heard that in years. God, so good. Next one, relatedly, best audio design, recognizing best in-game audio and sound design, the perennial Call of Duty and Gran Turismo 7 on here. But we have Elden Ring, God of War, and then Horizon Forbidden West. I would go Horizon because of the machine noises.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot you have to create there. And I know you have to create stuff for, some of the monsters in Elden Ring, but I think there's a lot of creativity with Horizon Forbidden West in terms of sound design.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking now. I don't disagree. I think this also goes to God of War. Maybe that's just recency bias, but I'm just like, yeah, God of War has really good sound design. Like
Oh my
very,
God,
very crunchy. Like all the weapons feel just like they have the right weight behind everything that they're doing, and the audio really pushes that.
Well, especially with the haptics, and I think it's almost like a cheating a little bit, because like I can't divorce the sound from my hands, and when you feel that axe come back, it's just like,
that's the point of the DualSense.
It does it.
I don't think it's Elden Ring though. Really,
I don't either. It doesn't stand out for me in terms of
no, because that's the thing. Like nothing in there was like, it's important while you're playing. You hear different things, but it hasn't stuck with me at all. I'm not sitting here being like, oh, I can directly recall certain sounds from Elden Ring. Yeah, I think I would give it to Horizon or God of War.
I can see God of War because of recency. But I still think the way, just like making music and thinking about, or making sounds and thinking about how sounds are designed for something that doesn't exist. You've got to really, and the way that they did the I forget what's the tinnitus setting in that game specifically, where you can hit that button so that you don't trigger your tinnitus.
Right. Yeah.
I thought was really good in terms of us, like a metacognition sound design decision.
It is.
So
I appreciated that.
Yes. Claps. Here we go. Best performance. We have Ashley Birch as Aloy in Horizon Forbidden West. We have Charlotte McBurney in Plague Tale Requiem. I don't know who she plays, unfortunately. We got Christopher Judge for Kratos in God of War Ragnarok. We have Manon Gage in Immortality as the main character. And then we have Sunny Suljic as Atreus in God of War.
Christopher Judge.
Fuck. He's so good.
He is really good. Not that Sunny is bad. I just feel like Kratos in God of War just is so much weight, and a lot of that is Christopher Judge's performance behind it. Holy shit!
I think he carries every scene he's in. It's just so weighty.
Yeah. I think he wins this. I really do.
He lost in 2016 against the guy who did or 2018, sorry. The voice of someone from Red Dead. I can't remember which one. Red Dead 2.
Okay. All right.
So I could see people wanting to give it to him this time. Not only because he's fantastic. This one is hard for me because Manon Gage in Immortality is fucking fantastic. And she's playing 4 different roles.
Sure.
Very different roles. But it's a movie. It's more like a movie, and I find it interesting because like all the 4 voice actors, I know they're mocapped and I know they're doing, you know, full body acting too, but Man Engaged is like she's on the screen. It's her. That's who you see. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like an extra layer of the performance, but I can't see it going to Man Engage. I think it's going to go to Christopher Judge.
Yeah, I would think so too.
But Immortality is great, man.
Yeah,
I'm so glad to see it getting.
I need to play it.
Yeah, if you have
I'm
Game
sure
Pass, you should just dip into
I
it
don't
for a
right
little
now.
bit. Oh, you don't? Okay.
I usually just get it for whenever I get some form of promo to get it for a bit.
Oh yeah.
And then I binge on some games and then I stop.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, we have A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Inling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. I've only played one of these.
I have played none of these, so I don't have any opinion.
I played Citizen Sleeper. I'll vote for Citizen Sleeper because it was cool. It was the closest I've come to a tabletop game in a PC.
I think you showed
RPG.
me that game.
I did. It was fun.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's kind of visual novelty. Honestly, so I can't say what's going to win here overall.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast and they had mentioned that they'd only played Citizen Sleeper, so they would vote for it. And I was like, okay, is that what's going to happen?
Possible. Although different people, because I don't remember how much weight the public vote has in here. I think
it's 10%. I heard.
Yeah, it's not like huge. So I'm curious, as reviewers and people like that he has on that are judging these, hopefully they've played a lot of these games.
Yes, exactly.
Or go out and play them.
Oh yeah, this is on my wish list because last time we talked about it, I put it on my wish list. Awesome.
So maybe but that might be the one that stands out because people are playing it.
Yep.
But there's 2 Annapurna games on here though, Memoir Blue and Hindsight. Maybe I should check those out overall. Honestly, any of these I haven't played, I probably wouldn't mind checking out.
Yeah, maybe sorry, go ahead.
Maybe not As Dusk Falls. I think is that a horror thing?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. I think just because it's available on Game Pass, I think maybe more people have seen it. But no, I don't know if it's a horror game or not.
Next category is Best Ongoing, and I immediately smash vote on this one. I know exactly what game that is. We have for Best Ongoing Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. I'm just voting for Final Fantasy 14.
Didn't it win this one last year?
Possible.
Yeah.
So it very well could win again. I think there's still a lot of love for Final Fantasy 14. Like, continues to just kick ass, and continues to put out great content. I don't think it's Fortnite.
I do think it's Fortnite.
Really?
This is the year I believe they put no build in.
Oh, it's true.
And I think that changed the game for a lot of people. So
yeah,
I think
you're right.
I think if Fortnite's going to win it, it's going to be this year because of that. But I still think that in terms of like sheer content, Final Fantasy 14, even though Fortnite continues to put a bunch of shit in there, but I think no build might give it an edge here.
Yeah.
The rest of them, no.
I don't think they'll win, but that's the thing. I look at all these games, I'm like, these are all games that are very popular and very well liked. So they're all doing something well on this point.
I think next one's community management.
No, best indie.
Okay, that's later then. Best indie. Good God.
I have not played many of these.
We've got Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, which I need to fucking get to, Sifu, which I also want to play, Stray, and Tunic. I have dabbled in 2 of these. No, I beat one, dabbled in another, and you played Cult of the Lamb a bit.
I've dabbled in Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of Sifu to know that I do not want to play that
game. I've seen enough of Neon White to know that I should have already played it.
Yeah.
I do want to play that one. Tunic, I enjoyed what I played so far, but I only played like half an hour or so.
Yeah.
But these 5, I probably would not give it to Stray. I think Stray is probably going to win it. And I like Stray a lot, but it's really like a straight adventure game, and I don't know if everyone likes that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could see Sifu winning this one.
I could do it's either Sifu or Tunic, I think, in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too.
With the underdog being Neon White, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Again, more games I should play. But
And that was Esposito, isn't he on white?
Yes.
The guy who did Donut County?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Best mobile game. This is not even a fucking question.
Nope.
In my view, it's Marvel Snap, and if Marvel Snap doesn't win,
Snap.
People are fucking insane. I haven't played Diablo Immortal, obviously, but
I played a little bit of it just to know what it was.
Yeah.
It's fine-ish. Its monetization sucks. But it wasn't like it's bad. I would never want to play a shooter, Apex. Honestly, so here's the thing on mobile side. I played Genshin Impact mobile. I hate it. I'm like, why would I ever play this game mobile?
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Wow.
Tower of Fantasy is just a Genshin Impact kind of clone.
Yeah.
Will fall into the same thing of being like, why would I play this on a PC? On phone when I have PC version? I did it with Genshin because I just wanted to do like my dailies, and I wasn't at my computer. But it was a painful experience. And
you know what's
Apex Legends? I'm like, why would I don't want to do Apex Legends, a shooter on the phone.
And I may be a little ignorant here about where Genshin and Tower of Fantasy started, but if I'm right, 4 of these are basically like PC games ported, an iteration ported to mobile, whereas Marvel Snap is like, this is a fucking, I know it's gonna be on PC later, but like this is built for mobile from the ground up.
It is built for mobile, and if you like, I play on the Steam client of Snap, but the Steam client is literally splash screens on the left and right bars to make your screen a mobile screen. Like, there is no direct PC client right now. It was made as a mobile game, and it's a very good mobile.
I mean, Marvel Snap is going to be in my top 5 games of the year.
Probably.
So, yeah, it definitely wins mobile game for me.
Yeah.
There we go. Best community support. This is what I was thinking of earlier. Same 4 as community, except for we've got No Man's Sky swapping in. So we've got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky for the recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches.
I still give it to 14 myself, but
yeah, I can see an argument for No Man's Sky again.
Yep, yeah, always an argument there.
Yeah,
I just say that the director and a few of the other higher ups on 14 do regular 6 to 10 hour streams where they just talk about the game and answer questions.
Yeah.
Just like, my God.
That is a lot.
Yeah. It's just a lot.
It's a lot of engagement, right? Engagement with the community.
Yeah. It's a lot of engagement that is, you don't see as much of that, just consistent. Not that these other games, like, I feel like they all engage to a point. I actually don't think Hello Games engages all that much.
I don't think so either. Not in that way.
Well.
Yeah, not in that way. I think it's just the patches alone is what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Versus the other 4 really do engage with the community.
Yeah. Oh, this is sponsored by Discord.
I know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Community app.
Yeah. I'm voting for Final Fantasy 14, but maybe it goes to one of these other ones, but
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, there's going to be the most vocal people will be Final Fantasy 14. I don't know if it wins, though.
That's right.
That's the thing. I don't feel like there's people like banging at the doors about these other games' community support. That's the thing. Right. So I think it's a matter of just like excitement, and 14 just because makes the people that like 14 really excited about their community support and streams and everything.
Right, and if you're a voter who doesn't play, but you have friends who play, and you just fucking hear about it all the time, you're like, it must be them.
Yeah.
They must be the best community support. Yep.
Now,
exactly.
Innovation and accessibility.
Oof. We've got As Dusk Falls. Sorry, go ahead. You can do
God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1. I guess that's the remake, whatever the hell it is.
Yes,
the new version of it, and The Quarry. I've seen a number of these. I still think it's God of War Ragnarok potentially. Sony pushed that really hard.
Yeah, and if you think about both SIE games on here, like the each new big game coming from Sony is basically has those accessibility options baked in where you can just change a bunch of shit, which is so
Yeah.
awesome. There's a accessibility advocate at my college who continues to say accessibility moving forward in accessibility benefits everyone because
Yep.
everyone uses those tools, and it's like totally true. Like I use subtitles on TV all the time, even if the sound's on my games too. I like subtitles because I don't hear everything. You know, it helps me catch everything. So Last of Us Part 1 and God of War Ragnarok had that full suite of
Yeah.
really amazing accessibility options. I heard someone make the argument about As Dusk Falls, though, because the way that the game is played, you really can just play it with a button.
Oh.
And I was thinking about that with Pentament. I was like, this is just a, kind of like a Metopia. It's like an A-button simulator. But that's accessible, and people are able to get into the game. But I don't know. Yeah, I could see Ragnarok specifically over Last of Us 1 because there's so much to do in Ragnarok, but the way that they make it all accessible is like that's a huge feat.
Yeah.
So.
But I think it's one of the SIE games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think God of War.
God of War, probably. Best VR AR. I have no horse in this race.
Yep, didn't play any of these, but they are After the Fall, Among Us VR, which wow, okay. Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and then Red Matter 2. So good luck to those games. Probably gonna get into a few that we haven't played now. This one's best action game, action genre, focused primarily on combat. You want to read those for us?
Yeah, Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Well, I've only played Shredder's Revenge.
I have only played Shredder's Revenge as well. From what I've seen and heard of Bayonetta and Neon White and Sifu, like, boy, I don't know what people are going to choose.
I don't think it's Call of Duty.
I don't think so either. Sorry.
Yeah.
Infinity Ward.
I think it might be Neon White here. Like, if you're going to give Neon White a category, this is it.
Yep. I think the movement, the way that you move through that world, really sets it apart. So I can see that. I'm glad to see Bayonetta and Turtles get a nod here, though.
Yeah. Next is Best Action Adventure, Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic.
This is hard because like my head immediately goes to God of War and Tunic, and those are such different games.
Yeah. I think God of War wins. I'll be honest.
I do too. So I think it's both. It's the adventure component, like the puzzle, like the fucking depth of puzzles in the first 5 hours or so has been crazy. And it's not even like the big P puzzles. Like there's just small P puzzles everywhere. Yeah. So traversal and puzzle solving, like this fucking God of War. Shout out to Stray, but the traversal is not the thing in that game. So.
Yeah.
Best RPG role-playing game. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences.
Which none of them are here. So.
No MMOs, you mean?
Yeah, no MMOs are actually on this list.
So we've got Elden Ring. We've got Live Alive. We have Pokemon Legends Arceus. We have Triangle Strategy. And we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I'm pretty sure this goes to Elden Ring.
I do too. Yep.
And if I was really just judging this purely on like, all right, just pure RPG, I hate that it's Western and Eastern and Japanese RPGs put together and everything, but I'd still probably vote Elden Ring as just, it's an incredible achievement for an RPG, but I really enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I mean, the way that Elden Ring is designed is just, it's all about player customization.
Yep.
Like that's all it is. And the way that you customize your character differently massively influences how you move through that game, or experience it, I'm experiencing a very different game being a melee character than someone who is a sorcerer would be.
I'm looking at it's crazy. There's Elden Ring, and then the 4 other games you have, they're Nintendo / Square Enix games.
Yep.
Like,
Shit.
that's
Yeah.
just
3 Nintendo
crazy.
games and one. Yeah.
Yeah, I
One
mean,
Square.
yeah,
Yeah.
3 of them are just straight up Triangle Strategy, Xenoblade, and Live Live. All are just Switch games.
Yep.
Oh, well, they're all Switch
No, they're all
games.
Switch games except for Elden Ring. I mean,
Yeah,
Switch is like the fucking RPG machine, man.
it really is. Um,
And I'm still on that fucking chapter of Live Alive that I need to get through
yeah,
because I I like it, but the way that the RPG works out in that game for all the stories so far, like I don't get to choose what upgrades I get. It automatically upgrades and automatically get new skills, and it's
yeah,
just there's no choice to
yeah,
it. It's just
yeah,
fed to me, which is fine. It's a fun experience, but yeah, it's Elden Ring by a fucking mile, and
yeah.
it's not like there are bad games on this list either. So
No.
what
Best
a year!
Fighting is next. And I actually have not played. You've played one of them.
I played one. Yeah, we've got DNF Duel. We have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All Star Battle R, The King of Fighters 15, Multiversus, and Sifu. I've only played Multiversus. I thought it was pretty good, but I don't know if it wins this. I
I
feel
don't
like
think it's Sifu. I don't think it's that.
no, and that's a weird one having best fighting. It is head-to-head combat, but when you think fighting game, you think of like two-player head-to-head.
Yeah.
So I think that one's not a winner on this one. I don't know anything about DNF Duel or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but if there's a new King of Fighters, I can see that having some juice
Yeah.
behind it.
I think it's might be King of Fighters and Multiversus. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't. Having played none of them, I don't know. But that'd be my guess, would be those two. Because I haven't heard anyone really talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or
No.
DNF Duel.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't made a splash. I have heard people about King of Fighters 15.
Yeah.
Haven't heard enough people liked it, but I know
People
it's a
playing
thing where
this,
people
yeah.
was kind of, yeah.
I still think it just always stands. I'm looking at it again here. It always stands out to me. The character, the art, the splash screen or whatever you call it for Multiverses. They sold what that game is just with Shaggy and Batman.
That's true.
Back to back, and Batman's holding his sandwich and Shaggy's holding the Batarang.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. Like serious characters doing silly
game.
shit, and silly characters doing serious shit. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking genius whoever thought of that. I don't know. Just for fucking fun, I'm gonna go Multiverses here. Just piss everybody off. They have a good cadence of putting shit out. Unlike Smash, that takes a long time to put one out. Like there's new characters coming often in this game.
Sure.
And there's a new Game of Thrones stage coming along with Marvin the Martian soon, or it just came out. One of the two. So anyway, best Nintendo game. Sorry, best family game.
Yeah.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3.
I think it goes to Splatoon 3.
I think it does too. I think this is you've got the best Kirby game that's been out, or maybe the best Kirby game ever, and Mario and Rabbids. But
Yeah.
I just, in terms of family, like when I think of family game, I think of like people sitting together and actually playing together.
Yeah.
Which brings Switch Sports or Splatoon 3. And of those two, I think it's Splatoon 3.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
God, this is such a Nintendo category.
It is, man.
Nintendo.
They should just rename it. Although, Star Wars is on multiple systems, but everything else, not so much.
Best Sim Strategy. Okay. Dune, Spice Wars, Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope, Total War, Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3. In good name, I can't actually vote at all for Dune Spice Wars. It's on my wish list on Steam, but it's still early access. It's not out.
Oh, that's why I was so confused. I didn't know
I
it was
wouldn't put it
out.
out. I wouldn't put it on this list. It hasn't done a 1.0 release. It looks really cool, but it's not done.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of these overall. One of my good friends has put almost 500 hours into Total War Warhammer 3.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm like, I'm meaning to ask him and be like, so what's up with this game?
I might go look at that real fast. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of hours.
It's a big grand strategy game with Warhammer, not 40K, Warhammer Fantasy world, and I'm just like, I wouldn't have expected him to put that many hours into this thing, but he did.
Oh, that's Warhammer 2. Whoops, wrong one. Huh.
It's big. It's
I want to see what it
complicated.
looks
It's big army.
like.
Grand strategy.
Oh yeah, dragons. Fucking wow. Those
Chaos
don't look like.
demons.
Wow, Jesus. Those don't look like screenshots. What the fuck? Wow.
Yeah.
Came out this year. Yep.
It did. I want to see it go to Mario and Rabbids though. I think I want to see that one get
It would be cool to see it
some
there.
more love.
Do you know anything about Victoria 3?
No, that's complicated, and I stayed away from it.
Perfect. Yeah, Paradox games tend to be
Yeah.
that.
And I know you wouldn't play 2 Point Campus, or maybe you want to play 2 Point
Nope.
Campus.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope. I really thought about it. I was like, that I want to see. No, I don't. Nope. If anything, any game that reminds me too much of work, I don't want to fucking play it.
Yeah.
It suffers the Fire Emblem problem.
Yep. I didn't pre-order the Divine Edition of that, of Engage, the next Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Amazon had it.
Okay, cool.
So I was like, sure, I'll do the Divine Edition. I'll get the Steelbook. Why not?
That's the one that I linked you on Target, and it was sold out for you?
I don't know. I just saw it yesterday on Wario, 64, because I'm in... with Twitter dying, a slow, painful death, he started a Discord server where
he did?
He just posts his deals there. So that came up. Amazon had copies, so I pre-ordered.
I ordered mine on September 21st, and what did I order? Oh yeah, same thing, Divine Edition.
Yep. Has a steelbook in there, some art book.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty excited for that. That will probably be on best sim strategy for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, most likely. Best sports and racing. I don't know. I haven't played any of them.
Yeah. F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie World.
Give it to Ollie World.
Yeah, I want to get to that game. I keep hearing good stuff about it. Yeah, let's go with that one. Best multiplayer.
Ooh, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Well, Nintendo multiplayer sucks. Like the actual logistics of it, not the. So I'm not gonna say the Splatoon's gonna win that one. Overwatch 2 started off rough.
Yeah,
it seems like it's probably better now. Multiverses has always run well when I've played. I know what I want to win.
Sure.
It's the one game on here that I've played multiplayer, which is Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and it played fucking perfectly.
Yeah.
So.
What is going to win though? Maybe Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is where it gets its win. But I mean, what was the statistic there? Because everyone saw it like, and even myself being like, is people really interested in Call of Duty anymore? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is like the best-selling Call of Duty in the series.
What?
Like the amount of money it made up front. It made so much money.
Is it because they're now selling for $70 a pop?
I don't know. But even still, it just sold. Like there was numbers that came out and it's like, I guess people still really do. It sold 1 billion in 10 days.
Jesus. So much for...
Which I think is maybe not the most. It's the fastest selling.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
In its first 3 days, it made 800 million in launch sales. It beat the previous record to $1 billion was 15 days by Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Which is the one before this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, the one before this one was Vanguard.
Oh, that's right. Interesting.
So, yeah. So, clearly it still has legs. People are still playing and buying it.
People don't care about Bobby Kotick, apparently.
Nope, not at all. Honestly, most people don't even probably have a clue that buy it.
Like that's true. That is true. I meant
most people aren't keyed into video game news. They don't give a shit.
Even like people who are, like, that dropped so quickly.
Yeah. Content creator of the year. I don't know any of these people.
Let's see here. I don't know. Nope.
Carl Jacobs. Ludwig. I've heard the name Ludwig. I don't know what they do.
Nibel was a guy who he did a bunch of Twitter. Like every week, he would just have wrapped up the news of the week. So he was a big Twitter gaming news guy.
No,
But he's quit Twitter because,
of
well,
course.
Twitter sucks. But also
Yeah.
he tried to do a Patreon to fund his work and basically got no interest. He's like, I'm like one of the biggest names who does this stuff, and I can't get this to go anywhere. I need to do other things in my life. So he's
There you
basically quit. So yeah,
Oh, good.
don't know these people at all. Best debut indie, we've got Neon White, we've got Norco, which I don't know what that is at all. Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors.
Yep, I know what I'm getting.
I know it's fucking winning here. It's the $3 game.
The $3 game that I put almost 80 hours into.
Yep.
Yeah.
That has got to be it. I'm glad to see it here. I didn't hear that it had actually been on any Game of the Year list. So I'm glad to see it there.
Yeah.
Norco is a text-based point-and-click adventure that immerses the player in the sinking suburbs and swamplands of increasingly surreal and distorted South Louisiana.
Nope. That sounds creepy.
But
maybe cool.
Fuck, it does look creepy. God, it looks like this very creepy but beautiful pixel art style. Gonna put that on my wish list.
There you go.
It's pretty interesting. Okay.
All right. Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Arcane, League of Legends, Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted. Well, we know it's going to be Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Like, come on. Like, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Game of the Year, Movie of the Year.
There it is.
Faithfully and authentically.
Reading that's actually why I wouldn't vote for Arcane, because I don't think it faithfully and authentically adapts. It elevates League of Legends storytelling of what they made, but it's not. If it was faithful, it would not at all be as dramatic as it is. I'll be honest.
That's why this is interesting, because faithfully and authentically adapts a video game. Like, I don't think that's ever been done. Like, it's not been done well. Like, it's just translating across medium is hard. Maybe Cuphead. Like, Cuphead is basically a fucking cartoon, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show on Netflix, but
I think what this comes down to, it's going to be Arcane and Edge Runners will be the two that are competing.
I mean, I think it's fucking Arcane. I would vote for Arcane,
Probably.
even though it doesn't match that. Arcane was just fucking phenomenal. I've not watched Edge Runners. I have watched Uncharted. I would definitely go for Arcane
over Uncharted.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, it was, Uncharted was exactly what you're gonna get. It's just that popcorny summer blockbuster. It wasn't offensive in any way, but it was just like, meh. Yeah, I'm going for Arcane. I gotta watch Edge Runners though.
Yeah, I think Arcane wins overall, but I did enjoy Edge Runners I personally enjoyed Edge Runners more from just a stylist, like just what the show was. Again, I have voiced my hard time with Arcane, even though I'm like, this is very pretty and this is very well done. My God, these are characters that are so goddamn stupid in the game.
Yeah. Right.
And how am I supposed to take them seriously here?
Yeah.
But good for them for elevating that silly game to something better than it was. I mean, it's not authentic because they don't have people like using racist slurs at you.
Toxic assholes.
Toxic assholes after every episode. Just, I mean, the credits should just be a stream of just being told how terrible you are.
Oh shit! That's why I keep coming back.
That would be hilarious, actually.
Oh my God,
that'd be the best Easter egg.
It's like the Hulk or She-Hulk, where the fucking post-credit stuff is just some really funny shit.
Yeah.
Just someone just cursing at you.
Most anticipated game. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated a potential to push the gaming medium forward. And we have Final Fantasy XVI, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4. That's a remake. Yeah. I get it, but still. Yeah. Starfield and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Well, for me, it's Final Fantasy 16. Hands down.
I would lean towards Final Fantasy 16 as well. But I wonder, it's so hard because that's all future stuff. I wonder if Starfield is going to push the medium forward somehow.
Yeah, maybe. I think It's Final Fantasy 16, Starfield, and Zelda are the three that could win this category.
Yeah, I feel like Zelda's gonna win it.
Probably.
I don't not on the strength of like pushing the medium forward. I mean,
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild did, but I feel like this is an iteration of that. Although maybe I
Yeah.
have no fucking clue. Maybe I'm wrong. But Final Fantasy 16 is the one I'm. No, that's not true. I'm looking forward to Zelda the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I want to play 4 of these games. To be honest, I don't care about Resident Evil, but the rest of them I do want to try out.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some good games coming out next year.
Oh my god. And this was a good year too, so fuck.
Best esports. I don't have anything to say about this.
Rocket League.
Yes,
Fucking
we'll
Rocket
vote
League.
for Rocket League. It probably won't win,
it
but
won't win,
boom.
but goddamn it, that's the esport I've played the most this year. In fact, that's the game I played the most this year. Rocket League. Yep.
Now we got esports athlete. I don't know.
Yep.
Esports team. Don't know. Esports coach. Even more don't know.
Yep.
Best esports event. Which ones have I heard of? Evo. I've heard of Evo. I know the League of Legends World Championships. I don't know Antwerp. And I know the International. Evo, because I think Evo's cool. Sure.
Evo, I think, is the one that's most well known. And that's the end. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, dude. It's a pretty good year for games, even though I know a lot of things were, delayed out of this year.
Yeah. I think it ended up pretty well. In a lot of ways, it felt like it was front loaded, and then this back half of the year, like the middle of the year, was pretty low overall.
Yeah, right. Well, especially like I know that all platforms have droughts or whatever. Xbox didn't have much at all this year, and Nintendo, to be honest, had Xenoblade, Splatoon are big games. They're not like, I don't think they're the big games that everyone expects from Nintendo in terms of like, A tier or S tier. I think those are A tier games, but not S tier kind of thing. So, and if it's not S tier, it's like, oh, it's not a great game, not a great year, but those are still fucking amazing games. So I don't know. Next year, if things don't get delayed, I think next year is like the fruits of everything delayed because of COVID for several years all come out next year.
I was trying to think here. I'm like, when did Halo Infinite come out? That was December of last year.
Yep.
Like, and no one's talking about that anymore.
Well, and it should be eligible to be nominated for something, right? Like best multiplayer or whatever.
I think so, because I'd have to go back to the nominees for last year.
I think because Pentament is eligible for next year. So the
interesting.
Cutoff must be sometime early November.
Oh, yeah, November. It wouldn't be. So, yeah, you're right. And they definitely did not put Halo Infinite in best multiplayer or action. Yeah.
It's nowhere. Yeah.
No. And I'll be honest, it seems like it's been generally forgotten overall.
Yep. Yeah, Halo just is not what it used to be.
No, I don't think. That's the thing. I just don't think. How would I put this? It's hard for a company to, like 343, to make the next Halo product with how much staff rotation they go through.
Yeah.
There's not a consistent team. Like, that's what I always hear. And they're like, well, hear people say, just give Halo to a different team. I'm like, it's not necessarily the problem with the team. It's kind of the Microsoft work environment and how the team, like, they cycle through people on contracts and people come and go.
Yeah,
it's hard to make a very strong vision when a lot of people are just only there temporarily.
And they're doing that to...
I don't know. I have no clue, but I don't think it helps when making a game, especially games that take, honestly, 4 years plus or minus a year. It helps to have a core team that lasts through that entire time to just keep that vision strong throughout.
Right.
Anytime you get leadership upheaval, just it screws up the whole process. Making games can be hard, and it makes it way harder. So I think they just need to figure that out more than anything. But they haven't yet, because I know a bunch of people just left over the last few months. So
and specifically from 343 or from Microsoft?
From 343.
Yeah.
So
it's not going to work. People are not only not talking about Halo, but talking about how no one's talking about Halo.
Yeah.
That just like sucks all around if you care about Halo. So, which I don't very much. I downloaded Halo 5 because of Game Pass, played the first level or whatever. I was like, "Yep, this is Halo. No thanks." And it was
Yeah.
because I couldn't play with, if I could play with someone who's like enthusiastic about it, like when I used to play with Brad, like that carried me through because he was so enthusiastic about it. And I was like, I'm collecting my achievements. Like this
Yeah.
is fun to play with a friend, but by myself, like this is mind-numbingly boring to me.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
That's a good way. What have you been playing?
dude, so Marvel Snap. I've been playing Marvel Snap, and I feel like I'm still in the fucking tutorial.
Well, I mean, are you have?
I must be because I still can't buy a season pass.
Yeah, is Blue Marvel the top card in the season pass?
Yes.
That's so. Once you get Blue Marvel, then you're out of
Okay.
out of the tutorial.
Okay, so I'm close then.
Yeah.
I think. I thought it was. I'm loading up now, but like I forget what it's called, but there's like purple bars where you have to like hit different markers. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4.
Yeah, you want to finish those.
Okay.
But by the time you finish all those, you will have completed the season.
Oh, completed the season. Okay.
Yeah.
The recruit season,
the recruit season.
Okay, which is the tutorial, right?
Yeah, it's a tutorial season. Like they do not drop you into a real live season event until you finish all this stuff. Like this is where I'd go through the game is incredibly well put together and how it teaches you every aspect of the game. From playing to actually the structure of its metagame.
Yeah.
Like, you'll come out of this and you're like, oh, I understand seasons. I understand missions. I understand seasonal missions and getting those and going up in season ranks. You know understand your collection level as you go up that. Mm-hmm. Like, you will have a complete understanding of the entire game before they drop you into the big C of the whole game. And let you spend $10 for a season pass.
Which I want to get the money, but I'm on level 16, so I unlocked Blue Marvel at level 20, so I'm almost there, I guess.
I think that's the end of it.
Okay.
I don't actually remember, but I thought that was.
I feel like I've been playing for a while.
You do play for a while.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about it. They keep new players pretty segmented down and just let you, I guess, just learn the game, feel comfortable about the game.
Yeah.
Because I bet right now, like you're getting to the point where you're playing some real people, but there's a lot of bots as well.
Yeah, I've played a couple real people because the names are so bizarre. I'm like, that's got to be a real person.
Yeah, but it's good. I'm trying to think of recruit season. Yeah, Blue Marvel, that level 20. Once you hit level 20 and get that, you advance into the rolling season pass, which is Black Panther right now.
Cool. Yeah, I want to get there to get that one. So I'm level 16. So level 20, I should get there in a couple days. So I've been playing this game, and I just fucking love it. Every new card has a different ability that just makes me think, wow, there's just so much thought put into this game. And then the new locations that I haven't seen before have been really cool and change the strategy. Like you can't play 1, 2, 3 cost cards at this location ever. And it's like, okay, that changes my strategy. I got some new cards that were like, Odin, who activates the on reveal
a second time.
And then I paired it with like it was a location where once I played it moved everything left, so then the person I was playing, who I think was a live person, it looked like I was losing, and then I shifted all my cards over to the location next to it in the 6th turn and 1-2 where I was going to be losing to, and I was just like, wow, this fucking like that all, like those 3 things that I saw that synergized, I did it. It worked. I won. I was like, God, that felt great.
Yeah.
And it just feels like lots of little moments like that where I think it's convenient too, because I always have my phone with me. So if I have like 10 minutes between meetings or whatever, like I'll jump into like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
And that's helpful, but it's goddamn, it's really well put together. And I care about the IP. The other thing about it I was thinking about, when I was a kid, maybe you did this too. They were the superhero trading cards. But I
have a fun story about that. Continue.
I got really deep into the DC ones. So I just had binders and binders full of the DC ones, and they were just like like just tons of like really deep into the fucking IP, right? And I feel like that's what this is doing too, where it's like, who the fuck are these characters? And it just, what I wish there was like a flavor text of like who they are. And maybe I'm missing that. Maybe it was like, flip it over and like read a bit about Jessica Jones or whatever,
Is there?
because that would be cool, kind of like the history or museum aspect of the
Yeah.
game.
So the funny thing, while you bring up the cards, this weekend I was cleaning out my garage more so I can get my second car back in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I finished up my flooring project finally. Everything's
Oh,
done.
nice.
Like stairs are done, finished all that. So I cleaned up all that. And I had a bunch of other stuff just sitting there, old boxes that I needed to go through. And I opened one up, and and there was like a tin in there, and I opened it up, and it's not like a lot. It's probably 100 cards of Marvel trading cards
Oh,
from
nice.
like 94, 95 of different types. Some that are just straight up Marvel, um, but then a chunk that is X-Men specifically, because I was totally into X-Men about between like 93 to 95.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved X-Men. So I have a bunch of these old, they like Flair trading cards.
Oh yeah, totally. Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, so it's just funny talking about. I was like, and yeah, I had the same connection to me of like Snap. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what Snap does. It just has like some cool art with
Yep,
a cool character on it.
exactly. And I love the variants too, where it's like you get the pixel art one, and you know all these different kinds.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have all the different variants. You'll start getting. I haven't really ever bought a variant. No, I bought one variant. I bought a chibi variant of Agent 13 because I had a bunch of extra gold.
Oh, nice.
Just because I was like, that's silly.
I have not bought a variant yet because I can't decide. I'm like, I don't have a lot of gold, so I feel like I
Nah,
have to
it's
buy
not worth
one.
doing it really.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting at like just shy of 2,000 gold
Mm-hmm.
because I just earned it through the previous season pass and stuff that I'd earned just from playing.
Right.
And I was like, ah, there's a variant. There's a variant that I actually like, 700. I'll spend it on it. But depending on what you're trying to do, like if you're just trying to maximize the speed that you're unlocking cards, new cards once you get out in there, you can spend gold, 120 gold to get missions. So you can finish your missions
Oh,
and
and
just
then get more.
repopulate your missions and get more. So you just are just getting currencies through
Right.
it. That's probably that's the most efficient thing to do. Yeah, my collection level is 480 right now.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Which is crazy. So another thing that this game does, so you'll finish the recruit pass. You're playing right now. If you play real people, there are only people in the recruit pass.
Okay.
Like you're not seeing it, but you'll get out of the recruit pass and you'll be in what is considered pool 1. And there are 3 pools of cards as your collection level go up. You only play people from your pool. So from like collection level wherever the season pass ends, you have there's like collection level 35 to right before I think 300 is pool 1.
Mm.
And everyone in pool 1, you by the end of pool 1 you will all have same cards. The order that you unlock the cards is random for each person though.
Okay.
But you only play with people out of that pool.
Yeah.
Then you'll hit pool 2 and you'll have more cards. And then I am 16 collection level away from pool 3, which is probably where I'm going to get stomped really hard. I'll be honest, because there's a lot of cards in pool 3, and there's a lot of powerful stuff, and I'm just going to get just wrecked, I'm sure. But it's just something to know of like how they matchmake, and I think they matchmake people that have similar collection levels and similar elo score behind the scenes matchmaking stuff. Like, but there also has tons of bots in there that are like they prioritize clearly getting you into games quicker, and if they can't get you with a real person, they'll just throw a bot at you quickly so that you never have to wait that long for a game. Like, I think it seems like they want you to wait less than 5 seconds to get into a game.
And I haven't noticed too much of a difference because I have noticed I have played some people and I can tell which ones are the bots. Usually, one thing I did notice playing people is that sometimes, like when they were making dumb decisions, I was like, oh, okay, this has got to be a person, unless they're programming the bot to do something stupid.
That's possible. Sometimes they do, I think. But I think there's a lot of times people just don't read locations as well, especially in lower tiers. Like, and you're like, why the hell did you play that there?
Yes,
Although
exactly.
I'll be honest, I have made play mistakes as well, being like, I shouldn't have played that card there. That was stupid.
Yeah. At least you learn, right?
Yeah. Man, it's a good game though. I've played a bunch. I usually play about 15 to 30 minutes a night. I just let my missions queue up, get all 6 filled, and then I just play for 15 to 30 minutes to clear out all my missions, and whatever I upgrade and whatever rewards I get during that is great. And that's how I'm just progressing through the season pass right now. Just because it's not all available all at once. Like missions come online one every 24 hours, like the season pass kind of structure. So there's not really a huge incentive to just sit there and grind as much as you want, like unless you just want to play and have fun, which I've done. But like there's definitely limits where it's like, well, if you're really just trying to like maximize progression, well, you're done. You've done as much as you can. Come back tomorrow. So it's pretty nice that way overall. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed by the game.
Me too, and I'm glad to see it on Mobile Game of the Year. I guess the list for Game Award, honestly, it should be on Game of the Year. The way that it's fucking going, Stray's on Game of the Year, and Stray's a great game, but this game has way more going for it than Stray.
I think so.
So other game I played this week, other than Wind Waker with my daughter, which has been, again, just beautiful watching her just grow into being a gamer and like learning how to play the game, is Pentament. I played about an hour and a half of Pentament, and it is Josh Sawyer, who is the narrative director on Fallout 3, I think. No, not Fallout 3.
New Vegas?
Maybe New Vegas? Maybe Fallout 3 New Vegas? Maybe that's why I'm thinking Fallout 3. And then something else recently that...
No, he was Fallout 3. Never mind.
It was Fallout 3. Okay.
And New Vegas. Weird.
Both. What?
Games. Designer, Icewind Dale, Heart of Winter. Lead designer, Icewind Dale 2. Fallout 3 Van Buren. That was the Black Isle one that never came out. That was the more isometric one.
Right.
Because he was at Black Isle. He did Neverwinter Nights 2. And then he went to Obsidian and has been... Yeah, he was director, lead... No. He looks like he was mostly on New Vegas. That's lead design. And he was the lead designer and director of Pillars of Eternity. Both Pillars of Eternity.
That's what I'm thinking about. Pillars
and
of
now
Eternity.
Pentiment.
Yeah. So apparently Josh Sawyer has like just a penchant for history and is really interested in the like early modern or like post-Renaissance, whatever, that whole time period. And it shows in this game because there's so much history. You're basically an apprentice who's about to become a master in their trade, and you are doing one last like folio embossment at the scriptorium. Like you're basically copying over a new tome for someone who's purchase those services from the church, and the scriptorium is where the scribes would like erase the old books and like draw the new books or whatever. They're all closing. It's the last basically project of its kind before you move back to, I think it was Nuremberg, and go get married and move on with your life and become a master in your trade. So you're it sounds fucking stuffy, and the way that it's written is not. The way that it's written is very much like it's not Latin. It's like the lowbrow street Spanish, that what became Spanish in that time period. So it's like or earlier time periods. It's just like not debauchery, but like one of the backgrounds you can choose for your character is hedonism. You can be a hedonist or you can be a bookworm. And there's so much I don't even know how to explain it. Like when I think about that time period, I think about that kind of history. I think about like it was talking about the diet of worms, and it was giving a history. You can click deeper into the menus basically and read more about the history of things. So it's like reading about the diet of worms, where like the three kind of main power brokers of the Holy Roman Empire came to decide like, rules moving forward for the Holy Roman Empire or whatever. And it's very serious. And then you get like little asides about people who are trying to get people to eat their shit and talking about pissing off the person who runs the abbey, whose name I'm fucking blanking on right now, because you want to go fuck people, or you spent your time drinking your way across Italy or whatever. And it's just like there's a rich contrast of like really engaging base shit with like really heady history, and it's just making a lot of choices in dialogue, and then it says that will be remembered. So it's almost like Telltale in that way.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like resolve conflicts between people and not doing it very well. Like whatever you do in your dialogue obviously helps you move to the next dialogue or the next part of the story, but the things that you're doing are going to have consequences is very clear to me later on. Like this is all building towards something, and it's very so well written. It's like the info dump is, if you want it, you can click out and read through the glossary or whatever, and it's really short, it's really pithy and really well written. So it's worth your time to do that. But
Okay.
it is just the right mix of like, these are cool characters, they're going to do cool things with like, this is a very stuffy history of this time period. Somehow they've got the mix right so far, and
Nice.
it's just I think Josh Sawyer had an interview, I think with Kind of Funny Games or somewhere, where he was just like, if Game Pass didn't exist, this game wouldn't exist. This is
Sure.
a Game Pass game. This is created because Game Pass exists, so there was a market for it. Because boy, the market for this kind of game has got to be small.
Yeah. I'm looking at the development history. He pitched this back at Black Isle.
Jesus.
Long time ago.
Whoa.
Like, and it just kind of sat and just, of course, no one's going to make this thing. But then it sounds like he initially, it was just him and Hannah Kennedy as the art director, and it's her doing all the art style. And it was just the two of them just worked on it, and the team was only 13 people at max.
Wow.
Like, it's a small game. It's not, so that's cool that he finally got to make it. Like, it's a long journey to end up making this game. That's 20 years or more.
It feels like that. It feels like a special game that is it just feels like a very well polished passion project. Like,
yeah,
bizarre that this
exists. I need to play this. Yeah.
It is. You should at least check it out, man. I think even if you watch a video the first hour, like if this thing doesn't at least win, well, God, if it's not on the awards next year for art direction and narrative, man, I don't know.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. But it's gonna be so far away by that point. But I feel like it's gonna stand out because it's so different than everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it was getting fucking great reviews at some outlets. So
its Metacritic is 88. So that's
for
pretty
this
great.
kind of game is crazy. I know it got at least 110. IGN gave it a 10.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him. That's really great. I hope it means that you'll see more kinds of these weird, quirky things coming out. But man, yeah, if you're not in the mood to read, this is not your game. This is as all you're doing is fucking reading. I read like a short story's worth of fucking text already. It's great. So awesome. Highly recommend to at least check out. It's not going to be for everybody though. What about you? What have you been playing?
I play Snap, which we talked about pretty consistently daily. And the thing that's most on my mind playing is I've been playing a lot of Warhammer 40k Darktide.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is a horde melee shooter thing. So think Left 4 Dead style. Like, that's the type of game this is. Like, go on a mission, 4 other people. There's no bots right now, so it's 4 other people, and they're all, the characters, whatever you take, are equipping at each other the entire time as you're going through this mission structure, and there's clearly an AI director behind the scenes, like spawning mobs and the whole thing to make for fun and intense games. How much hours have I put into it? Because it's not officially released yet. If you pre-order it, you get into the they did basically a pre-order beta that started on Tuesday, I think.
Oh yeah, it says I can pre-purchase it right now. So I guess that.
Yeah, and you can get right into it and you can start playing. And they're rolling out features up to release. They're basically like, hey, we're not a huge company, Fat Shark, who made it.
Yeah.
We would love for people, if they feel comfortable playing in a beta state, play it so that we can test servers, validate like matchmaking is working properly, validate that progression is feeling fine and there's no egregious problems there. But they're like, hey, if this doesn't sound fun to you and you don't want to be in it early, don't. It's okay. Just wait. But I wanted to hop in and just play, because they even had the caveat saying, we don't think we'll have to wipe progression. That's not our intent. But if something really bad comes up, we will wipe progression in this. So they're like, if that's a problem, stay away.
Right. It's not guaranteed you're gonna be able to carry forward.
They haven't had a wipe yet, and they were pretty sure if they were going to have to wipe progression, it would happen within the first like 3 or 4 days, because that's when a major problem would be found. So
Right.
they haven't spoke of anything. So there was this first week. I think there was 4 or 5 mission types. I've played them all multiple times. It's been fun. Like, I really enjoyed playing it. I have some friends that I'm just jumping in with and playing, grinding through levels, getting money so I can buy new gear to do harder things. It's a loop overall. There's a light story. It's probably the best visualization of the 40k universe and lore, and it doesn't involve a single space marine, and I love it for that.
There you go. Yes, game of the year. No space marines. That's good.
But it's dark and grimy and but very satirical. Like, it definitely understands that the 40k lore is satire. It meant to be satire. Which number of the players that play that game, the tabletop, forget that it's satire.
I never heard that it was satire.
Yeah, it's completely satire. It's like complete over the top, like satirizing fascism, basically, completely and totally. Like, the game was created out of the 80s to like mock whoever was in charge of the UK then.
Before Thatcher?
No, it was Thatcher.
Oh, okay.
That was like very much meant to be a parody. And they've become a little bit, unfortunately, over the years to like, we want our models to look cool, so things look generally cool, but if you like look back at that stuff through the 80s and early 90s, a lot of the models looked really stupid, and they meant they were supposed to. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people that take the 40k lore very seriously, when it's like, no one at Games Workshop takes it this seriously. Like,
right, you're becoming the people they're mocking.
Yeah, basically. Like, going like the Imperial, the human nation in the universe is not nice. It's very clearly not nice, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be like this draconian system, just like pushed to 11 to be like, this is absurd.
You're supposed to see it as absurd, people. God damn it.
Yeah, absurd, and like this is not good. But no, so there are people that are like, this is awesome. You're like, you're missing the point. But either way, this game at least gets that. There's a lot of general snarkiness, and environments and the characters and everything fit very well with that. But it's also very pretty. It's a pretty game.
That's cool.
So yeah, you just run around and you cut mutants and chaos cultist heads off with swords and shoot them with guns. So yeah, just, your normal things you do.
As you do.
As you do. But yeah, if you've played Left 4 Dead, it's very much that type of game.
And that's cool. I remember playing Left 4 Dead when it first, Left 4 Dead 2, I think, or maybe it was 1.
Yeah.
Anyways, having a blast.
So if you have a good group, it's fun. Just run through these things. They last 20 to 30 minutes on a mission, and you run through and hope to survive.
Yep.
Have to do coordinated teamwork in a number of different places. Starting, I think, tomorrow, they're going to patch the beta, was their plan, and there'll be another 4 or 5 missions and another 2 maps overall. And then each week leading up to releases December 2nd, I believe, or November 30th.
Oh, so it's right around the corner.
Yeah. Actually, it's November 30th. They're patching, and now for the first beta this week, there's going to be a patch at the end of this coming week with some more things. They're going to take everything down on the 29th for launch on the 30th.
So you won't be able to play that day.
Not on the 29th. One day that you can't play while they prep everything. And they even said with the beta, playing it early, you're not going to see everything because they're holding some things back for launch.
That's cool.
There's secrets, like surprise stuff.
Right, exactly. You're not going to see everything and kind of be bored with it before it comes out.
No. So, yeah, I'm having a good time. Playing with some coworkers at System Era, and I've played with my friend Carl a bunch today. Him and some friends. So, having a good time with it. If you like those type of, I don't even know, cooperative survival games in some ways, it's a good one. It's really good. Yeah, not much else to say on that. I'm enjoying it.
Very cool. Is that the end of your list? What you've
I
been playing this
think
week?
that's all I've been playing this week.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty good week for us.
Yeah.
I did not play God of War because otherwise, I've been playing music. So,
There you go.
but I'll hopefully get some time this week. I'm off this week, so.
I'm close to it. There's a lot of people out this week.
Yeah.
For my work, but I'm off. I'm gonna work tomorrow. Tuesday, I'm gonna actually go in. There's a work company potluck thing,
Oh, nice.
and I just kind of want to go in, do that, and socialize a little with the people who are there, and then I'll be off from Wednesday on for Thanksgiving times and
Very cool.
all that stuff. So yeah, should be pretty light week overall. So hopefully I'll get some good game time in as well.
Yes, I'm hoping so as well. Well, all right. Thanks everyone for listening to our Game Awards predictions. In a couple of weeks, we'll see who the winners were. Rate us on your podcast service of choice if you liked us. Episode 361 here. He's Anthony. I'm Larry, and we will be back next week to talk about more games and any Black Friday games you picked up.
That's true.
All right, folks. See you then.
Later, everyone.